Welcome back! Today I want to share my 2024 Instagram export settings with you that I use all the time to post high quality images on my Instagram page. And yes, if you want to post photos on Instagram with the best possible image quality, you should do a couple of things before you upload your images. As an example, as I started to post my images on Instagram, the preview of my post was always fine, but as soon as I published the photo, it just got worse. And for sure, if you want to post images on Instagram, the baseline is that your image itself looks great. Obviously, if you use low quality pictures and upload them to Instagram, they will look bad. So be sure that you take your pictures in the best possible image quality. But yeah, here's my step-by-step guide that I use all the time for my images. First, let's talk about the basics, the Instagram recommendations. Basically, the Instagram recommendations are official guidelines that you can follow to upload better results. And for sure, that's always a great option, but the main factor you need to think about is the Instagram compression tool. Because yeah, whenever you upload an image to Instagram, your image gets compressed to achieve smaller file sizes. And in most cases, that leads to low quality results. So yeah, as soon as Instagram needs to do a lot of adjustments to compress and post your photo, it will simply get crushed. So always try to make it as easy as possible for Instagram to compress your images. And I personally always use the 4:5 picture ratio that Instagram recommends. And yes, you can easily crop your image in your editing app or software. Simply select the 4:5 option, select the best part of your image, and you're set. So definitely do that before you upload your images to Instagram, just to avoid the problem that Instagram needs to crop the image for you, because yeah, that will always affect the image quality a lot. The second step that we need to talk about is the editing process, and I'm using raw files to edit my images. In most cases, I simply start with one of my presets that you can also check out in my shop if you click on the link down below, and next I simply adjust some of the settings to get the fine-tuning right. Especially if you want to upload high quality images, it is really important to use the right files to edit your photos, because if you don't use any raw files, you need to be really careful in the post-production. Because basically, if you use compressed JPEG files to edit your photos, you can't make any harsh adjustments, because JPEG files are already compressed, and that means there's not much data left that you can use to edit the image. All kind of DSLRs and DSLMs can take raw images, and even a lot of smartphones in these days can create them as well. But let's say you can't take any raw images. In this case, I highly recommend to just slightly edit your photos or lower the intensity of your presets to avoid any issues. Another step that I always recommend is to care about the size and sharpness of your photos. I highly recommend to give your photos a little sharpness boost to let your key elements stand out. Of course, you can sharpen the whole image or just use the selection tool to make some additional adjustments to let your key elements stand out. And yes, for me this is one of the most important steps, because everyone sees your image on a small screen, and that makes it way harder to see all the details. So before you export your image, always double check your key elements. Actually zoom out to make the image smaller on your screen to see if everything's fine. Otherwise, try to adjust the settings until it looks great, especially on a smaller smartphone screen. Next, let's talk about export settings, and here I always use JPEG to compress my final edit all the way down. But, and this is really important, I always use the highest export quality. And yes, some people say that they lower the output quality a little bit, but obviously Instagram will compress your image to create smaller file sizes, so I don't want to lower the quality right in advance. Another setting that I use is the sRGB option right here, and what you can also do is to adjust the image size. Instagram recommends to use at least a short edge with 1080 pixels for portraits, and for landscapes a long edge with 1080 pixels. So if you notice any unexpected changes, maybe this additional adjustment might be worth it as well. The next step is to simply export the image, but before you upload your photos to Instagram, there's another common mistake, and it's all about transferring your photo to your phone. Because if you send the photo via Messenger, for example, to your phone, it is possible that your photo gets compressed as well. And that leads of course also to a lower quality upload. So instead I highly recommend to use a cloud system, or if you use Mac, you can simply use AirDrop, or just connect your phone to your computer and import the files. That's the best possible way to avoid any additional compression. But yeah, exactly, that's a complete process that I use all the time to upload my photos to Instagram. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next video.